My name is Patrick Stanger, and I'm a voiceover artist. Worked in radio for over 20 years. I started off as what you would call a disc jockey, a DJ, an on-air personality, whatever you want to call it. I did that for about 6 years. I went by the name of Stephen Wild, the Love Child, and I worked in, I guess my first full-time job was in Beaumont, Texas. I'm from Houston, but that was my first full-time job. I worked out there. I did nights, which was like 7 to midnight, for about 4 years. I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but there is a lot, radio's changed a lot, and it was more personality driven, whereas now, they try to cut back on that. Unless you're on the morning show, basically, you don't really have a show. And so I found myself moving into the more, to the production side of things, which is making commercials, using your voice to make commercials, and, putting the audio together, using the software or whatnot. And, I really enjoyed that. I was able to stay in radio, do what I, enjoy doing, and, it was more secure. Yeah, Circle of Pain. It was a movie with Kimbo Slice. Had Frank Mir in it, and gosh, it had a number of MMA fighters in it. Heath Herring, Roger Huerta was in it. But oh yeah, you know who? What's his name? The Superman, the guy that played Superman on TV. He did the Ripley's Believe It or Not show too. What was his? Dean Cain. Yeah, Dean Cain was in the movie as well. So it was shot here in Austin, and my agent that I do voiceover work through, told me about the part, and she knew I did ring announcing for MMA events. So she's like, yeah, they got this wrestling movie. That's what she said it was, but it was an MMA movie. She didn't know the difference. And so I auditioned for it, and I got the part. The ring announcing thing, just came about by chance, just like anything else. You do one thing, and then it leads to another. I never know what direction my life's going to go in. I started making commercials for one of the local promotions, the fight promotions in town, and I got free tickets to the show and went to the show and never seen a live MMA show at all, and loved it. Just loved it. Fell in love. I'm like, this is it. MMA really seemed to make sense to me, and so I had contacted the people I made the commercial for, and I said, hey, if they need some help, I'd love to help out and do something with them, because their production was horrible. It was horrible. And so yeah, like 6 months later, they contacted me, we met for lunch, and they wanted me to ring announce, and I was like, all right. So I started doing my research on ring announcing, and showed up and did my first show, and it took me a couple of shows to actually get my style down, but I figured out that I wanted to be exciting, that I wanted the fans to feel something and the fighters to feel something when I announced them. I didn't want to just be, plain and normal, formal ring announcer. That was no fun for me. I would sit at home in my sweatpants and a t-shirt and do voiceover work for a few select clients and ring announce on the weekend, and I really see myself dabbling in something that has to do with Halloween, which is it's just a passion of mine. I love Halloween, and advertising and branding. There's fear, it's fear stepping out, especially when you have, a wife, and a stepdaughter, and a mortgage, and all of those things, they're a part of the equation as well. It's like whoever they is, right? They want to keep us in debt and, keep us almost enslaved, not to be some kind of radical over here, but it just feels it's not freedom, it's not freedom. And I guess, it takes you just have to, people have to, I guess you just have to realize that on your own, where are you going? How are you going to get there? Are you just trying to be like everybody else and keep up with the Smiths and the Jones, or do you want to do your own thing, Absolutely, there's a business. Yeah, I have an idea. Yeah, I have something that I'm currently working towards at the moment. So I feel a sense of freedom in that. You know, I feel that this is all of the things that I've done in my life and that I have enjoyed have led to this point, you know, where I'm going. And it's not necessarily, you know, the ring announcing path, you know, that I thought I was on for a while, you know, and that's something that I enjoy. So it's like trying to figure out what can I do to make money, what's logical, and then what is something that I enjoy doing. I do feel a sense of freedom in that, you know, moving forward with that plan. I feel in my gut that it's going to work out and it's the right thing to do, you know. So, I mean, if nothing else, you know what, I'm going for it. So we got to keep going, man. We can't just be, you know, complacent. You know, if you're not happy, do something else. Put on your running shoes and go find more cheese.